My name is Linh and my co-host is
Edward Thomas.
We welcome all you new listeners to our podcast. We've seen there are a lot of new people who've joined us. It's really fun.
Hey, I'm a new person.
They're all American, apparently.
What? No, not really.
What?
I'm from Germany.
Germans do not speak like that.
Okay, I'm from Denmark.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay, I'm from Denmark.
Yeah.
My name is Peter.
I'm sure there are more Danish names to it. I don't know which one.
I don't know which ones either.
Yeah.
It's like, not making fun of Danish language.
Sorry, Hamida. It is really mean. That's our Danish friend.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway. What are we talking about today again?
I don't know. I thought we were talking about...
We're talking about being a supportive friend when
someone is starting to date.
Or wanting to date.
Or wanting to date. Hoping to date.
And just whining in your ear all day long about how badly they want to date.
I mean, Lynn, like my girlfriend left me, we were together like 20 years. And then she left me all alone. And now I got to find a new woman.
And she's just sad. She just don't love me anymore.
I know. I feel like so alone. I just can't put myself out there anymore.
We are not making fun of heartbreak people. It's just,
yes, we are.
It's just that
we're
it's
just
all too common.
We're trying to give context.
Yeah, it's all too common that people... I don't know. Okay, one aspect of this is like, how did you end up single? And then on the other way, why do you want to go dating?
Person. That's why.
Really, it's nothing wrong with you. It's just
no. Obviously, it must be the person. If someone leaves me, it's because they're imperfect.
Because you're perfect. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm every woman's dream. If you want to know what I look like, if you've never seen my face, just think, whatever you're dreaming about, that's me.
Wow. And what if they were not dreaming about that voice?
What do you mean? I have lots of different voices. It's lie to me.
They're all American, though. So...
No, they're not.
Oh, my gosh. I told you we're Chinese man trapped in a American black man's body.
For those of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, you just need to download other episodes because it's all out there. We don't have a private life.
To the culture night episode.
Yes.
There we talk about Ed being a Chinese man trapped in a black man's body.
I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I've been dipped in just several layers of ethnicity.
Anyway, so do you have friends who want to date?
Do I have friends? No, I don't have friends. Most people hate me after a couple of weeks.
Well, it's because you stop paying them. Ooh, burn.
You know what? I'm just going to eat my peppercocks.
Oh my gosh. Ed.
No, I was going to say, okay, so gingerbread cookies in Swedish are called pepparkaka.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get the whole word out, so it just...
Beep. You can put a,
No, that sounds better. See? I'm eating cookie.
So, yeah, you have friends who you don't pay because they're your friends who are dating. Yes, wanting to date. I have some colleagues who are really desperate to date. Or some are more desperate than others, I guess. I also have friends who are really desperate to date.
What is this? Wait, okay, so when did...
Do you have more guy friends who want to date or girl friends?
Well, since I have mostly female friends.
Dude, so boring.
Well, I mean, you and our friends, I'm sorry. Grow a beard and I'll have more male friends.
Well, I am married, so I'm not one of your wanting to date friends. But we have common friends who are guys.
Friends and girls.
And girls.
But let's talk about guys this time.
Okay.
We always talk about girls. And we have a lot of women that listen to our podcast. Thank you,
so
ladies.
We don't care about you dudes. You guys just should have it.
But ladies,
together.
let me tell you, there's a lot of men out there who are really desperate and they just don't know what to do. I wish they did.
But there are also really a lot of women who are really desperate and they don't know what to do.
No, but I think most of the women know what they want to do. They just can't find a quality guy.
Or they don't know what they want. So they're just confused.
Well, if they don't know what they want,
then that's a big issue.
That's another issue. We should probably do another podcast about
confused
women. About women who want to date, but they don't know what they want to date, and so they don't date because they're unsure about what they don't know what they want. Was that confusing?
Or when guys come along, they're like, I don't know if I want him.
Excuse me, I don't feel a spark. Get to know him. Yeah, the spark comes, lady. You know, when you get older, once you're over 30, The spark is not. You don't get spark right away. Okay.
What do you get that?
And
Hormones.
it's like wet wood. You just gotta wait. You have to wait
until it's dry. Wow.
Yeah, it's gotta be dry enough to take the spark. So sometimes it takes a little time before
you have
that
to dry
spark.
it off, like blow dry it.
Yeah, because I mean, so if you think like this, the longer you've been out in the dating field, it's like wood that's been out in the forest.
Oh.
It just gets wet, and wet wood doesn't,
Burn.
it doesn't burn as easily. So what happens is,
put in the dryer.
yeah, you have to
dehumidify it.
You have to do those kind of things that helps the wood to dry. Okay, that just sounds really weird.
Yep.
Helps your wood to dry out. And once your wood is dry, then you're ready to go. So,
Shouldn't be having wet wood.
yeah, you don't want to have wet wood.
It's very useless.
Okay, this is no longer PG-13.
Anyway, maybe kids don't even know what we're talking about.
I know. I'm like, what?
But I mean, yesterday I was at after work, and this guy said that, he just wants to date because he wants a companion. He's now approaching 60, so. Yeah.
No, I'm a single woman.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay.
And so I really heard about your friend here, and, he can jump in the lake. I will not waste my time with a man who just wants companionship. I want somebody serious. If he wants companionship, tell him to get a dog.
But he said like he would never marry again because he was so traumatized by the drama that the first marriage left him.
So he thinks that he can
like,
tie up someone else's time
Yeah.
for a relationship that promises nothing more than companionship.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Get a shepherd, a German shepherd. He can get all the companionship he needs.
I think he also wants to have physical companionship.
Oh, tell him now. No, see, listen. If brother man is not putting a ring on the finger.
If you look at it, you should have put the ring.
Hey.
Well, you should tell
ladies.
people that too. Also at work, I'm like, if you're dating a guy more than 3 years and he doesn't want to put a finger or puts a finger on your finger, puts a ring on your finger, then
What's wrong with us today?
put a ring on your finger,
Yes.
then you should just leave. Because
Yeah.
I have one colleague and she's dating this. She's Swedish and
Yeah.
he is Middle Eastern. I don't
Yeah.
remember which country. But like, apparently his family is on his case too to finally propose to her, and she's on his case too to propose. But he's like, no, I just want to have a stable job first. I just want us to buy an apartment. I'm like, and I told her like, all of this is just so bad excuses.
That was my alarm that went off.
Yeah, and I told her like, you don't want to waste time with. Yeah, I don't know, but people get so comfortable.
Tell your girlfriend that.
She's not really my girl. She's my colleague. but
Okay,
yeah.
well, okay. Tell what's her name, Sally. Okay, no, but tell her that he doesn't want to get married to her.
Yeah, I told her.
If the family's pressuring him,
Yeah.
and she's pressuring him, and he's saying, oh, yeah, you know what? That's because he's waiting for he
Waits for
actually
something
he's
better.
he's thinking that something's better's out there. That's why he doesn't want you. So I would just go bye.
Yeah, I told her, and she's like, yeah. But I think people are so comfortable.
Yeah. So
Because it means
if you don't
if
leave
you-
right away,
Yeah.
you get comfortable because people adapt. So yeah,
Yeah, they don't. They're so comfortable because they will think about, okay, if I dump this guy, then I have to start all over again, and they have been dating for 5 years or whatever. And I'm like, why would you do this to yourself?
If you've been dating for 5 years, you're not going anywhere. That's pretty bad. But I think also that when people get older, they start to feel like there's not as many fish in the sea, and so sometimes they feel it's better to have the fish in their hand than no fish at all.
Then go fishy again, and
yeah.
maybe go
You know.
fishless.
Yeah, exactly. That was something fishy there, but I do believe that, like, so we're talking about trying to be a supportive friend, and one of the things is that if people are talking to you about relationships and you're trying to be a good friend to them, first you have to establish boundaries and definitions. So if my friend's going to whine to me about their relationship, but they don't want any input, then I have to decide.
Do I hear it?
Do I want to be the ear in this relationship or the foot?
To
No.
kick this guy
Kick
in
them
the
in.
head.
Yes. So I think that would be the first thing is that you have to decide on just those kind of things. Like, because I think if someone's going to include you in their wine, then they also need to include you in the cheese. No, okay. No, but
Ooh.
whining. I'm like, ooh.
What a bad dad joke.
I know. No, it wasn't.
You a dad, so it's
I'm
fine.
a dad. Okay, I guess it's okay to tell the dad joke. No, but they should at least, like, if I'm going to whine to someone about wanting to find someone, then I should also maybe be willing to receive a little input that might help me to better my chances of actually finding someone, or finding out that I don't really want someone. I just feel like I should want someone because I'm single and everyone expects me to find someone. And so maybe I should just, like, you hear this, guys? Listen, let's say you're over 35. Let's say you're over 40.
Oh, wow. That's
Okay,
old.
let's say
It's not our listening crowd.
That's not a listening crowd, yeah. Sorry,
But if you have whiny people in that age group.
Yeah, so say like you're like in your 20s or 30s, but there's people in their 40s and 50s who whine to you. Because most of our listeners, there's no one like over 35 who listens to us.
No, rarely.
Yeah.
Your relatives.
Exactly. They're all old anyway. So, and I love you guys. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
But I think that it's hard to be a good friend when someone is whining about their situation and they're not doing everything they can to make that situation good.
No, like every time you meet them, they are just saying the same things, and I'm like, I can't. Sorry, I don't have time for this.
People are in dead-end relationships. You're in a relationship, you want it to go, to the next level, and the other person is not willing to go there, and then you start whining about it, but you're unwilling either to leave the relationship because it's now dead, it's not going anywhere,
or stop whining,
or accept it, then you stop whining.
Yeah.
And the third thing is actually see, can you actually do something to get to the next level? Mm-hmm. Like maybe someone's saying, okay, well, as soon as you get your degree, we can get married, but you've been on the degree thing for 20 years.
20 years. You should stick around for some person who promised you something for 20 years. Then you have other issues.
Some people are
then you have other
loyal.
Issues.
Some people are
it's not about loyalty.
Loyal.
No. No.
Okay, some people are settlers. Okay, I got someone. I'm not going to do anything else now. I'm just going to invest in that one basket. But
I don't know. Like, the good thing is when I work at a really large workplace.
Yeah.
So it's good. I meet a lot of different people and have a lot of different life stories, and it's. Yeah. I can see so many things happening. So people who are actively dating, people who are open but not searching, and then we have the desperate ones. Also.
Wait. Okay. So you have people who are dating. People who say they want to date, but they don't do anything about it. So those people.
No, but they are open. They're like they go out and they meet people. But it's
so they do meet people.
But they don't. But they don't like. They're not desperate. They're like, oh, I have to check this guy out. I have to check that guy out. They're just. I don't know. Maybe they just go out to cinema or to a restaurant or whatever. They're like in a public space. They're not sitting at home knitting and then like, oh, why is no one interested in me?
How many people do you know sit at home and knit while they're waiting for their potential mate to show up?
My husband would be one of them, I guess. But I don't know if he knows knitting. I would think he would play computer games. So anyway.
Okay.
No, but then you have the desperate ones
now we know what to do. So in case you die,
what?
Then we know that we need to help you and us out because
to find a new one? He said he will never. He's like, no.
Really? Oh,
he's just saying that now.
I know.
No, I don't think he. I don't think he will find a new one.
While you're alive, he's just saying that.
No, I don't think so. I always make him feel bad. It's like, I don't think anyone else would want you.
I'm going to haunt you. I'm going to come back from the dead and stand over your bed. You'll never have anyone else.
No, I
again.
think he would be so focused on the kids. I don't think he.
Yeah, probably. Would. That's the advantage of having adult children. I'm not leaving you, Annette. I love you. But, if something happened.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's go back to the crowd of people who are...
back to reality.
who want to date. But you wanted to tell about your friend who was getting divorced and then want to date again? No.
Yeah, I have a friend who's... So this is what happens is that sometimes when people end a relationship, like they get a divorce or whatever... then people feel like, I don't know if they feel pressured or they pressure themselves to thinking that they need to get involved in a new relationship pretty soon.
Especially when the other person already is or left them because of someone else. So it's like a revenge thing. Like, if you can get it, I can get it.
I don't know if any guys said, okay, maybe there are guys that think like that. I wouldn't.
It's called a rebound.
I wouldn't try to get revenge. Like, I'm going to show you. Wait till I get somebody. Woo!
Don't you know what a rebound is?
No, but a rebound is just when you date someone. I define rebound as like when a relationship's ended and you don't have anyone, but you want to have someone, and so you take whoever the first person to come.
Yeah, that's a rebound.
But it's not because of revenge. It's just
no,
because
it's not a revenge.
you just right now you're open to whatever.
Yeah. I was just jumping to the next thought already. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Okay, man. But I think that for those people who want to find someone to spend, so you have to define what are you looking for. So it's kind of cool. The person who says that you talked to, who said that they only want a companionship, as long as they're open and honest about that. Like, you meet someone, you're like, hey, listen, I really like you and stuff, but I'm really just looking for some companionship, nothing more.
Because he said like he does never ever want to get married again. He's adult kids now, and he feels like he doesn't want to do all the marriage.
But see, that seems like it doesn't seem emotionally healthy, because what happens is that
I was not saying he was emotionally healthy.
Well, I mean, it just seems like you're making a judgment call on everyone else because of a bad relationship that you had. So to say that you never would ever get married because of something this person has done, you actually have made a judgment call upon everyone else. But if you think like, no, next time I should probably do a better job of actually, like, I know myself so well and I know what I want, and then finding someone who's actually fits those qualifications.
But it's harder. Don't you think it's harder in your age to find someone who...
In my age?
Yeah, to find someone who fits your criteria.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, sorry.
I think if I was single, I think that within a month, I would find like a couple of, potential people, and so like at least 5 or 6 or 7.
Really? They're all just waiting for your marriage to crash down.
They're just all waiting in the...
They're
like, please, let this year be my chance. Ed is so wonderful.
Wow. They haven't smelled the stinky
No,
underneath.
but I think that because I think it has to do with having a lot of self-confidence about yourself and being willing to put yourself out there to actually interact with people. So I don't think it's a lack of people at a certain age. I mean, except for when you get past 80.
Yeah, well, then they're all dead.
No.
Or in elderly homes.
Most of the men are dead. That's the problem. So especially if you're looking at the statistics in Sweden, but it's pretty much over the whole Western world. Since men die so much earlier than women, that after like 80, the amount of available men decreases like radically. And so all of a sudden, if you have women who are that much older and they want to try to start finding someone, they'll either have to settle for someone who's a lot younger than them, like someone in their 70s.
A lot, that's 10 years.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
Yeah, but then they'll be in their 90s. After 10 years, so the guy is 70, the woman's 80. During those 10 years, she becomes 90, he becomes 80, and they both can die.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounded really horrible. That sounded really mean.
No, it's really
it's
romantic, just as
Isn't it
the
cute?
Notebook.
It's cute. It's really cute. It's like, yeah. But so from that age group, then if you leave that on the side, then you would see that in most other age groups, it's not a lack of men or women. What happens is that people like your friend end up just not wanting to go through the work and the effort, because it's just as much work at 60 or 70 or 50 as it is at 20.
I think they're a lot of 20 years old. They don't put a lot of work into these things. I'm sorry.
That's why they get to be 50, 60, 70 and still single.
I mean, and then the other guy who said that, he first lost lost his job, and then he lost his apartment, and then his girlfriend dumped him when he got a new girlfriend, or when he got it, not a good new girlfriend, then he got a new job. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused today.
I guess she dumped him when he got a new girlfriend. That's
she
normal.
Dumped him because she said that she didn't feel in love anymore after 1.5 years.
Wow.
I just think it's so strange, because I told him, your ex-girlfriend just sounds like a person who will have a lot of issues in life if that is the position she will prevail. Because to have this, I have to feel in love all the time. Like,
but a lot of people are like that. That's why most people break up, because they feel like
you won't find anyone long term like that ever.
No, but Hollywood sells that, and people, all the not relationship books, but those female pornography novels.
Female pornography novels, yeah. Erotic
erotic
novels.
literature, yeah. And so they always tell you this lie that somehow, you're always going to feel it, and then you hear somebody lying on YouTube, and maybe, I mean, I think in some cases people do feel it all the time, but that's like an exception to the rule, and a really rare.
Yeah, that's not.
In most cases, and in most relationships take work, and if you don't really,
all relationships take work.
No, most of them do.
Which ones don't?
When you're a little kid, most of your relationships don't take work because, you're
they
just
do.
kids.
They do too, because if it doesn't take work, then you're somehow a kid who has like autism or something because you don't understand the rules of the game.
No, when I was a kid, people just loved me and the world was nice and everything was
adults,
fuzzy.
Not the other kids.
Yeah, everything was fuzzy and everyone would hold their hands and say, "Kumbaya, my lord."
I think all relationships
And then I became
work.
a teenager, and then the beautiful world crashed, and it was replaced by this hard, cruel, evil thing called the real world.
I'm sorry, but everyone has to go through it.
No, I want to go back.
I have another friend,
Okay,
and she's a single mom now.
Yay,
and she had a really bad experience with her ex, and now she just runs from club to club and tries to find a new one. But I tell her, you have to consider the fact that what kind of guy will you find in the club? What kind of guy will you find in a bar?
A nice one. Depends on how many drinks he's had.
A nice one for the night, but is he also nice in a month? Is he nice in a year? Is he nice in 10 years?
I know a lot of people that hang out at the meat market, and they're like so quality.
Really?
I wouldn't let them date my daughter, but quality.
Quality for what? Quality for buy you a drink?
Yeah. They have deep pockets.
Yes.
No, but that's the whole thing. Like, if you really want someone of quality, so if you really want someone who's compatible with you, unless you want someone who just wants to go out and clubbing all the time and you feel you're going to club until you're 90, then, you're probably not really putting yourself in the best possible light. And that's another thing. I mean, if you're really going to date, so the whole issue, we're supposed to talk about being a supportive friend. I think we just talked about dating.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're a supportive friend to someone who's dating? I mean, they usually need your life experience. Hopefully, you have some and some wisdom.
Yeah.
And I also think,
or just someone to keep you straight.
And I think the most important thing, I mean, our friend who was here today also at church, he asked me, so where am I supposed to find someone? Like, if you're not supposed to go like to the bar, to the club,
I'm glad I wasn't here to hear that, because I would have said something funny.
And I said, like, I think the best thing, or the best thing I think would be through friends and their friends.
Really?
Yeah, because then you have a reference point.
I guess.
I mean, sure, you can have workplace, I don't know, hobbies and all these things.
We're just saying you should have help, basically.
Yeah, I think so. I think you should be open, like, hey, I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can have a look, like, out and be open. Like, if people come with suggestions, you're like, no. Because the one guy I was talking about with the companionship, another girl, she wanted to set him up on a blind date.
Okay.
But he already knew after they've talked, like, through the phone and stuff, that he was like, nah, this is not my type of woman. And he was really specific. Like, it was not only, it's just a feeling. He said, like, it's really concrete, because he was like, well, she just said, like, when we talk about, should we meet?
Right.
And then he said, well, I didn't like it that she seems to be really bossy and dominant, because she was basically saying, I already ordered some cinema tickets, so if you want to, you can tag along. So he was like, because he was like, this is not a conversation. Exactly. This is just like, you better come.
Yeah, really.
So he was like, nah.
Wow. Yeah, but that's really good. He has self-insight. Self-insight is really good. And when you see that it's not what you want, you just walk away. Say bye. Sorry, the store is closed.
Different customer.
Yeah. So, and I feel like if you're a good friend, so if you want to be really supportive, it has to be okay first for your friend to say that, that you can speak that kind of truth into their life. Mm-hmm. And if not, if your friend is not really letting you be that kind of friend that can help them in the dating thing, then
tell them to just be quiet.
Yeah, then you have to sort of help them understand, listen, I appreciate that you need a sounding board, and that's okay. But since you're coming at me with all the same kind of things all the time, it becomes it's kind of weird because
I don't know what to do.
I want to be a friend that supports you towards positive change and transformation and not stagnation. And so, can we move on or something? Or
I came to really good insight really early on, like when I was really young, that I don't want to be an emotional trash can. Like I want people to just whine. I should just be like nodding down, sitting, and oh, poor you.
Aww.
Then I go home and feel bad for them.
Really?
No, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this anymore. That's why I'm like, when people are coming and it's too much, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this.
I wonder how much can you take? I'm gonna start dumping on you. see how much does it take before you just close the lid on me?
I'm like, nah, I'm not going to call him anymore. I'm like,
and I become an emotional litterer because I can't put it into the trash can anymore. So
I'm not your emotional trash can.
Yes. Well. Okay. Well, you know what? I think that's pretty good. I mean, I'm sure we just scraped the iceberg. No, scraped the ice.
Also, the iceberg. There's a lot underneath the iceberg.
There's a lot of scraping on the iceberg. But if you feel like you would like some more information, especially for you guys out there, why don't you give us a little write? Send us a little message. And
I
tell
know
us
guys don't like to write, but you can also leave a voice message if you don't know how to write.
Or you just get someone else to write it for you. Hey, I need someone to write this for me.
You can record it on Google Translate or something.
That would be so funny. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm looking for an apple because you asked for a date and it just said, "Oh, pick a fruit." No.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everyone for listening to our little podcast here.
Yes.
And if you find yourself being a supportive friend of someone who's trying to date, hopefully this will help you.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.